Hey everyone, welcome to this webinar. Today I'm going to share with you a new opportunity that was presented to me a few weeks ago. I took some time to research it. I spoke to the directors and I went to London last week. I was there for the live event where I met the founding members, some of the directors. I had some chats with them, asked them questions. I do a lot of extensive research before I jump into a new opportunity because I've been burnt, just like many of you probably who are watching right now. I've been in programs that didn't really go very well, that didn't deliver what they were promising, and this is why I'm being very cautious right now when I approach a new business. The good thing about this one is that it's not even brand new. It's already started last year. It's a trading company, and their expertise is actually in developing software for trading. So for the last 20 years, the guys who started the company, Joao Fernandez in particular, is the person responsible for the programming of the software that is doing the trading. It's auto trading. So it was a software that they were outsourcing at first just to big companies and banks, the corporations, the ones that can afford to buy this software. At first it was only available to VIP clients, people with 100,000 and more in their accounts. But last year they opened it to the public. So now we have a history, a good track record of the company with their Forex trading. But the Forex trading is still a bit of a high-end ticket for many people. And just 7 weeks ago, they launched an affordable Bitcoin trading package, which starts at 50 euros. That's the price of one package. So for people like me and you who want to basically just test how everything is working and maybe put a little bit of money in there and see how it goes, and we don't really work with 5 or 10,000 or something like that. The BTC package is basically what makes it possible for us to be involved in this business. This is why I'm really excited to share this with you, because I'm trading Bitcoin myself. I'm trading other cryptocurrencies as well. For the last year, I've turned all of my capital into Bitcoin, so I'm only really interested in programs that work in Bitcoin. There are quite a lot of videos out there already with the CEOs, with the directors of the company. You will find a lot of this on my blog as well. I have a blog that where I explain all of the programs that I'm working with, and USI Tech is listed here, of course. So you will find all of the information here and the videos, and you will also find my personal videos here, tutorials on how to get started. And this video will also be added on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it later there. Now, why I'm really excited about it, I'm going to share with you here. This is my dashboard, and I'm going to explain very briefly the dashboard, but what I really will focus here on is the calculator and how can we grow our Bitcoin. I'm going to show you through the power of compounding how you can actually double your Bitcoin and triple and grow it even further. I started about a week ago already. I've been testing it with 6 packages. This is usually how I start, because when I'm testing things, I start with a smaller amount, and then I'm testing the withdrawals, I'm testing the repurchase, making sure that everything works before I can recommend it to anyone else. And here we see the people in my team. I have 133 so far. And I've got 6 packages, and I have some available balance here with which I'm going to do a repurchase today. Actually, I'm going to do that so that I can show you how it works. But before I do that, I'm going to show you, here is the calculator which they have provided, and then I have another calculator which I made myself because it's kind of giving me a better idea further down the line. With this calculator, you can quickly estimate how much you're going to make in one cycle. What is a cycle? Basically, each of these packages that we buy, they bring 140% return. So this is one cycle. And when they bring 140%, they expire. They end. So 140 days will be the cycle here. If you start with, let's say, 10 packages, 140 days, you will, let's calculate that actually, you will end up with 38 packages towards the end of this cycle. You would have accumulated through repurchasing using just your earnings from these packages on your own, without without commissions from referrals or anything from the affiliate plan. And they have an affiliate plan which I'm going to discuss later, but only from your own earnings you will be able to triple, even more than triple, your starting capital. So you'll end up with 1 Bitcoin, and you started with 0.41, so less than half Bitcoin you started, you end up with 1. Now this calculator cannot really go any further than 140 days, because at this point your first packages will have to expire. So if I just continue with 150 days, unfortunately it just keeps adding more. So I'm not going to continue with this calculator here. I'm going to jump into my personal one, and this is a calculator which I borrowed basically from another program. I customized it so that it can work for this one here, but I didn't really want to change the value here of the dollar. We're working with euros, but I didn't want to mess up the whole thing, so I didn't change it into euros. So just don't pay attention to the fact that it says dollars here. It's actually euros. Okay, so what do we have? The price of one package is 50 euros. It brings 140% return. It brings around 1% per day. This is not a fixed rate, it fluctuates. It's on average 1%. Some days it will be slightly less, and other days it will be a little bit over 1%. So we take it on average. Here we have our deposits. This is where we have how many days are passed from starting our account. This here will be withdrawals. When we start making withdrawals, I'm gonna enter them here. And this is the number of packages that we have. We start with 10. This is just for example, of course. And if you have any expiring packs, they will be in this column here. The active packs are showing in this column, and then the yellow is showing our earnings. The green is basically the same. It basically shows us what we have in our cash balance, because your earnings are basically going straight into your cash balance. You can take them out straight away every day whenever you want. But in order to grow your account, you really need to take advantage of the compounding and compounding your earnings. Basically that means using your earnings from these packages to repurchase more packages. So during this first 140 days you will see a really big growth in your account, because for the first 140 days, and this is working days we're talking about, so 5 days a week, not 7. During these 140 working days, you are not having anything expiring. Therefore, you are able to grow and repurchase and just add more ad packs on top of the first that you bought. And this is how you end up with 38 packs on day 139. You have 38 packages. And this is really the big growth. Now from that point, you will have your first 10 packages expiring, so you will be left with 28. So let's have a look. That is basically the end of your first cycle, 140 days. You have almost tripled the money that you started with, and from that point on, you're going to have every other day you will be having one package that will be expiring, because this is when you were purchasing them. But you keep repurchasing and you keep compounding. This way you're recovering all of these packages that are being lost, and because you already have much more in the system, you start compounding much faster. So you can see that you're still growing them. They're still going up even though you have packages that expire. So the fact that packages will be expiring shouldn't really worry you. If you're doing this right, you will be definitely looking at tripling your amount at the end of your first cycle. Now, what I want to advise here is to have a strategy for recovering of seed money, because even though I'm looking at this as a long-term program, and even though I didn't find anything bad, any kind of negative or red flags about the company so far, we still have to be quite wary about anything that is online, because there are risks. Everything online is risky, You know, there are even risks that might not be inside of the company. It could be just some regulations of governments or something else that could come in place that could mess up the business or make it, you know, cause some changes or something else. So always think of recovering your seed money however safe you feel. What I would suggest is somewhere towards the 4th month. Usually I compound and I grow my account for the first 3 or 4 months, and after that I start taking out so that I can recover seed. So somewhere around this here, maybe day 80, let's say, when you start making $10 a day, 10 euros, sorry, a day, this will be a good time to start recovering seed. So this here is where I need to put my withdrawals. And I'm going to do it day by day, but of course you don't really have to do it day by day. You might decide to just withdraw on Fridays, or, you know, once or twice a week or something like that. You might withdraw 20 a week or 25, which would be 5 per day. So let's say I take out 5 per day and I do that consistently. I will get to the point where at the end of my first cycle, I will end up, after my 10 packs expire, I will end up with 20. Which means I have doubled my funds in the system, but at the same time, let's have a look at what I have recovered already. At the same time, I have recovered about just under 70%, 65, almost 70% of my initial capital, of my seed money I have already recovered. So this is my safe strategy. This is what I would recommend to people who are not very familiar with making money online, who are just starting, you know, people who might not be very experienced, because I don't really want you to risk and be complacent about these things. Make sure that you recover at least 70%. That's good enough. You can then continue building up, or you can continue taking out 5 per day until you recover all of your seed money, which will be somewhere here, maybe a little more. So day 180 will be when you would have recovered all of your seed money, and at the same time you would have doubled the capital that you have inside the system. So what happens is, at this point, day 180, you no longer have any risk. You've taken out all of your money from the system, but inside the system you have twice the amount that you started with. So this is because you've tripled your money. You can actually take 1/3, which is your seed, and you can continue with 2/3, which is what you have earned from the system. So this is how powerful this system is, guys. I mean, it's really impressive when you look at it, and the power of compounding is something that you should definitely take advantage of. On top of that, they have an affiliate program. I did mention that in the beginning, and you get paid on 2 levels by default. You have a direct referral, which pays you 10% commission on your referrals purchases, which means for every pack that they purchase, you will be making 5 euros, and then you have 3% on your second level referrals. There is also more levels that you can unlock later on. If you qualify, you can purchase a license, which is something that I will discuss in a separate video, and you can actually earn down to 12 levels deep, and you will be making 3% on the first 8 levels, and the last 4 levels you're making 1%. So 10% on direct referrals. This is really powerful. It's quite a standard in the online marketing and network marketing industry, so it's not something that I'm really surprised to see. It's actually a very good incentive, because we know that the best way to advertise a business is through word of mouth, through, you know, people's personal recommendation. This is why they're paying the affiliates, the members of the business, 10% on direct referrals, and I do advise that you take advantage of this. It's a really powerful way to grow your account much faster and ultimately grow your Bitcoin much faster. If you have any questions, just send me a message on my Facebook. My link is below the video, and also you can go to my blog. The link is also below the video. Have a look at my blog and make sure that you watch the videos there and all the tutorials. This is again a really new system. It started 7 weeks ago in March 2017, and it's going to be a long-term business, so you'll be hearing a lot about it. It's best if you have any questions to just ask me directly. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.